I was not expecting to be able to put together another list of extremely easy platinums so quickly after my previous one, but just so happens a bunch of pretty easy games have been released on the PlayStation 4. So without further ado, here are 10 more extremely easy platinums you can get now on the PlayStation 4. First up on this list is one that actually almost made my previous list, and that is bullfighting game Toro. I am actually shocked there's even a bullfighting game that exists, and this one, unfortunately, is very bad. It's also extremely boring to play. You have to master the Tony Hawk-esque commands of button presses and moves to pull off while baiting the bull and eventually taking him out. It does a scoring system with multipliers in order to get a high score, and you need to complete certain objectives in each of the missions to advance and get the trophies. But it won't take you long to get it. The problem is, the few hours it does take will feel like a century because of how bad and boring this game is. I love B sci-fi, and Deadly Tower of Monsters is a throwback to the 1950s era of sci-fi movies. It also is a pretty fun action platformer that will only take you a couple of hours to get through the game's main story, and maybe another hour or so to clean up the game's collectibles. With a fast travel system allowing you to go all over the map at a given moment, and some great guides to help you out, Deadly Tower of Monsters is a platinum you can easily get in about 5 hours. I'm absolutely surprised I didn't put this on one of the previous lists. Nightmares of the Deep Chapter 1, The Cursed Heart, is one of those find the hidden picture games that have permeated PCs for years. One of these finally made it to PlayStation 4, and because of that, is a very easy platinum to get. You will have to play through the game a couple of times because you do have to do all the hidden pictures, as well as the game's alternative to the hidden pictures, the Mahjong rounds. But overall, very easy, and you'll have a platinum in about 3 to 4 hours. Besides point and clicks, the walking simulator genre is another one that usually lends itself to pretty easy platinums, and Ether 1 is a great example of that. While the game can be a bit buggy, so make sure that you save often because it does like to crash, following a guide you can easily get the platinum in less than 4 hours. And even without the guide, it may only take you 5 to 6 to get through the game's puzzles and find the game's collectibles. Either way, Ether 1 is another very easy platinum. One of the strangest adventure games I played in recent memory, Wheels of Aurelia, is a car-driving adventure game. Basically, you're driving a car, and you get to make dialogue choices and decide whether or not you take certain exits off the road, and the story progresses thusly. There is a lot of endings to the game, which is where most of the trophies are contained, and it may be a little bit difficult to actually figure out all the endings on your own, but with a nice guide, you will have no problem being able to get all the endings lettered A all the way down to ending P. Wand Wars is a fun little competitive Pong-like game where basically you're playing the aspect of a Legend of Zelda Link vs. Ganon fight reflecting the light balls back at him, but you're doing so in a competitive arena trying to hit the other wizard that's battling against you. Matches can be up to 4 wizards at a time, and there's a few other game modes as well. Overall, the game is extremely short to get through the main campaigns, and the cleanup of the other trophies will only take you a couple of hours, though there is one difficult one for defeating 3 level 9 opponents all against you at the same time, but powering yourself up with the right power-ups going into a match, a little bit of luck and perseverance, and you should easily be able to get the trophy of Wand Wars in just a couple hours. Man, what a weird game this is. Manuel Samuel is a co-op-style game with a quirky storyline involving a skateboarding Grim Reaper, a guy who can't do anything for himself, he's resurrected from the dead, and basically every button on the controller controls a different body part. Your goal is then to get him through one crazy, insane day. The story itself is very short, and you will have to play it multiple times, single and multiplayer, and the multiplayer works with you controlling some buttons and your friend controlling some of the bodily functions, and this can easily also be done with just 2 controllers and by yourself. The hardest thing about the game is the time trials, but once you kind of master the controls, which you probably will by the time you beat it, you should have no problem getting another easy platinum in the game Manuel Samuel. No surprise, point-and-click adventure games end up making this list again with Dead Synchronicity, a game that has a very cool style to it and a good story that goes along with it, which is one of the key elements, of course, of a point-and-click game. It has a very easy set of trophies, and the game, of course, length isn't very long at all. It does not feature a chapter select, but you can manually save just to make sure you don't end up missing anything along the way. But a couple of hours after you start it, you should have a platinum in Dead Synchronicity. One of the best first-person shooters of all time, Duke Nukem 3D is now on the PlayStation 4 with the 20th Anniversary Edition. In this game, you can use cheat codes. In fact, it's encouraged because one trophy is using cheats. And you can then use all these cheats to quickly get through the entire game and have a platinum in about 2 hours or so at most if you decide to use those cheats. In fact, for beating each campaign, you don't even have to beat the whole campaign. Just load up the last level of a campaign, beat the boss, hit the exit, and boom, you already have the trophy for beating that particular scenario. So, in no time, you can easily get the platinum for Duke Nukem 3D. Monster Jam Crush It is one of the most lackluster monster truck games I've played in the last 10 or so years, but it's very easy to play through and get that platinum. You don't even have to play all the game's events or even unlock all of the unlockable trucks in the game. The hardest thing is maybe getting the gold medal on the stunt event, which isn't really stunts, it's mainly just you getting air for enough time to get enough points, and then you have to go through quite a lot of the game's uphill battle mode, but a lot of them you can just hold down the acceleration and not even look at the screen and your truck will finish and get the game's collectibles. While you do have to get 250 of the game's Crush Letter collectibles, it probably will only take you maybe an hour, if that more, than it'll take you to get all the other trophies to get that 250 Crush Letters. And after you're done, boom, 2 hours later, another shiny platinum. So there you have it, 10 more extremely easy platinums you can get now on PS4. I'm honestly shocked that I was able to do a Volume 3 so short after my Volume 2, but they keep putting out easy platinums and I'll keep covering them as soon as I get enough for these lists. Let me know down in the comments from all my lists, including this one, what games should I check out, which ones haven't I covered yet that should definitely be included on one of these lists, and if there's ones coming out or do end up coming out, maybe come back and check out this list again and add it to the comment section to make sure that I do end up checking out that game for a future list. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and of course I hope you enjoyed.